All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to your daily AI News Digest for January 21st, 2026. Today is one of those days where you can literally feel the digital map of the world being redrawn. From the halls of Davos to the tech labs in Seoul, the whole idea of a single global internet, well, it's fracturing. And something new is rising in its place: national, sovereign AI. So first up, and this is the big one today, the era of the unified global cloud, it's over. We are now officially seeing the rise of national AI infrastructure, where your data and the computers that process it are becoming closely guarded strategic assets, just like oil or grain.
Then we're going to talk about a pretty critical warning shot, and it's coming from tech leaders themselves. The AI industry is staring down an energy crisis so big that it might actually lose its social permission to even exist. The question is shifting from can we build this stuff to should we even be allowed to power it?
And finally, you have got to hear about this radical, high-stakes experiment kicking off in South Korea. They've launched a national competition that everyone is calling the AI Squid game, a totally ruthless winner-take-all battle to build their own sovereign AI and completely dominate the next wave of robotics. Okay, so let's start with that massive shift announced in Davos. Look, this isn't just another business deal. This is a full-blown geopolitical statement. The idea of sovereign intelligence just jumped from a concept in a white paper to a multi-billion-dollar reality, like overnight. So what even is this sovereign AI alliance? Well, you've got this UK-based firm teaming up with giants like Accenture and Palantir. And what they're doing is building a totally new kind of data center all across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. The goal here isn't to take on Amazon or Microsoft head-on. No, it's to create what they're calling AI factories that keep a nation's data and all its computing power under its own legal control. This is a huge shift. It means the supply chain for computation is now being treated as national security. And this slide really shows you the core difference. You know, the traditional cloud is all about these huge, centralized regional zones, and you're kind of sharing the responsibility for data. This new sovereign AI model, it's all about localized, national centers with full sovereign ownership. But check out that top row, primary orchestration. That's the real game changer. Palantir software is acting as the brain for the whole thing, managing everything from the power grid right down to the individual GPUs. That's how they ensure the entire system is independent from any outside influence. So let's just be crystal clear about the takeaway here. We are watching the end of the borderless cloud in real time. That old idea that your data could just live anywhere in the world, it's being replaced by a new reality where digital sovereignty is a fundamental pillar of national security. The internet is literally fragmenting along national lines. Now, at that very same Davos summit, another, much more sobering reality was starting to hit home. Even as we're planning these massive new AI factories, the industry is having to confront the fact that it might not have the power, or frankly, the public goodwill, to actually run them. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, he did not mince words. He basically warned that the entire AI industry is on the verge of losing its social permission to operate. Think about that. He's saying the public is not going to put up with this massive energy drain if the only thing we get out of it is more efficient advertising. AI has to deliver real, tangible breakthroughs in things like healthcare or science to justify its enormous carbon footprint. All of a sudden, efficiency isn't just a tech metric. It's your license to exist. So, what's the industry's answer? Well, it's coming directly from the hardware side. NVIDIA just pulled the curtain back on its next-generation Rubin platform. And just look at that key metric, inference cost per token. That's basically the energy it takes for an AI to generate a single word or idea. Rubin is promising a tenfold reduction in that cost compared to the chips we have today. This is a direct answer to Nadella's warning. It's a race to make AI both ridiculously powerful and sustainable. So while the engineers are scrambling to make AI more efficient, the scientists are busy figuring out how to make it smarter. And a truly stunning discovery is giving us a new roadmap for AI's future by looking at, well, the original intelligence, our own brains. We are seeing a convergence between neuroscience and computer science that is just absolutely mind-bending. A landmark study just published in Nature Communications found that our brains and these large language models process language in a stunningly similar way. Just follow the steps here. It starts with basic feature extraction. That happens in our auditory cortex. Then you identify sequences. Then you integrate context. And finally, you get abstract meaning up in Broca's area. And at every single one of these stages, the AI's internal layers were mirroring the activity in the human brain. It suggests that both of us build meaning through a flexible statistical process. not by following a bunch of rigid rules. And this discovery leads us right to the doorstep of the quest for AGI, right? Google DeepMind's Demis Hassabis says this research basically confirms they're on the right track. He says the key isn't just about mastering language, but about building a robust world model, giving the AI an intuitive understanding of physical laws like gravity and cause and effect. And get this, he's sticking to his prediction: a 50% chance we will achieve AGI by 2030. So, with something as powerful as AGI potentially just over the horizon, you know what happens next. The race is on to figure out how to profit from it and how to control its risks. And that brings us to the great balancing act of 2026, this massive collision between commercial ambition and government oversight. And wow, there is no better example of this than OpenAI. The company just started rolling out ads for its free tier users. And this is not some small experiment. Analysts are projecting this could become a $25 billion a year revenue stream by 2030. So yeah, the whole pure research lab phase, that's over. OpenAI is transforming into a media powerhouse, and it's going right after Google's advertising empire. But as these companies rush to monetize, that regulatory clock is ticking faster than ever. Just look at this timeline. In the UK, a consultation just launched on a potential ban of social media for kids under 16. In the EU, major parts of the AI Act, including transparency rules for deepfakes, become legally binding on August 2nd. The window for unregulated innovation is closing, and it's closing fast. So while the West is debating all these regulations, one country is taking a radically different path to try and seize the lead in AI. South Korea has basically decided to turn AI development into a national, high-stakes competitive sport. They're calling it the AI Squid Game, and honestly, the name is perfect. The government has pitted its elite corporate and academic teams against each other to build these massive foundation models, the core engines like a GPT-4, completely from scratch. And here's the brutal part. Every 6 months, the lowest performing teams are evaluated and then eliminated. And when I say eliminated, I mean they literally lose their access to the government-backed GPU clusters they need to even compete. It is a ruthless, state-sponsored race to create a national AI champion. And the wild thing is, we're already seeing the results. This intense software competition is directly fueling a hardware revolution. At CES just this month, the K-Humanoid Alliance was showing off breakthroughs directly tied to this national push. We saw a 5-digit robot hand from a company called Robotis with almost human-like precision. And Hyundai announced that its Atlas humanoid robot is now officially ready for factory deployment. So the crucial point here is this. South Korea is betting that this high-pressure model will let it leapfrog everybody else and lead what people are calling the physical AI era. By integrating its homegrown AI models directly with its world-class robotics industry, the goal is to be the country that finally moves intelligence off of our screens and onto the factory floor. But whether we're talking about sovereign clouds or humanoid robots, all of these massive technological shifts eventually land in one place, the workplace. So how do we actually integrate all this power into our daily jobs without falling into some really common traps? Well, experts are warning everyone about something called the intern trap. You see it over on the left. That's when companies only chase hard ROI, things like time saved, and so employees just end up using AI like a glorified search engine. The result? Productivity just stagnates. The goal, over on the right, is what they call squishy ROI. This is about building a culture of innovation where teams collaborate with the AI to completely redefine how they work. But achieving that squishy ROI is proving to be incredibly difficult. I mean, this number is just staggering. In India, the major IT firms, the ones at the heart of global tech services, added a net total of just 17 employees over the last 9 months. All the billions being poured into AI are not, as of yet, translating into job creation. And that is why so many people are calling 2026 the year of accountability for AI. Which really leaves us with the central question of our time, doesn't it? As AI gets woven this deeply into the fabric of our nations, our energy grids, and our jobs, we have to stop and ask, are we building a true cognitive amplifier for all of humanity? Or are we just building a more efficient, more powerful machine for business as usual? The answer, well, it's being written as we speak. Thanks for tuning in.